Might be 65. If not, I'ma just look it up. But yeah, Isaiah 65 and 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, behold, my servants shall eat. His servants are the ones that do his will. The ones that pray to him, that bow down to him willingly. They think upon his name day in and day out. They do his work week in and week out. All right. Going on the highways and byways, teaching his word, fishing for the elect, doing what he said to do, being obedient. All right. Doing these videos, reading the word, studying, meditating on the scriptures. Those are his servants. Oh, most importantly, serving each other. Like Yahushua showed us, he washed his disciples' feet. We have to serve each other as well. Speaking to myself first and foremost. We have to be in the spirit of, serving one another, having, brotherly loving kindness toward one another. That's the servants of the Lord. And ultimately the ones who he revealed his secrets to. The secret being the 100% truth, the understanding of the scriptures. That's the 100% truth. The ones that have that are his servants. He said, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. So for this prophecy to come to pass, somebody got to starve in that day. Somebody has to be, some people have to, be deleted by dehydration in that day. Because I believe you can't go more than 3 days without drinking. So somebody gotta be sent back to the spirit world from dehydration for this to come to pass. And the Lord has to, feed us and give us, drink, and give us the spirit to rejoice that the Lord is finally working for this prophecy to come to pass. This is a prophecy. This hasn't happened yet. It says, behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. So certain people have to be ashamed in that day for this prophecy to come to pass. And that's the people who didn't listen. Who didn't listen to the words of Yahweh Shem Shai while they still had a chance. While we were still doing this work. While we were still on the highways and byways. While we were still doing these videos. Those are the ones who are going to be ashamed. The ones who knew better but didn't do better. But we're not going to be ashamed. We're going to rejoice in that day. Lord willing, we're those true servants. So behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. And in the NLT it says, my servants will sing for joy, but you will cry in sorrow and despair. And the Lord's going to laugh at them while they're crying for sorrow and despair at you niggas, you 2/3. And man, I hope I'm one of the men of the Lord. I can't wait to see my enemies, defeated. I can't wait to see my enemies going through it. Just speaking personally as a man, I'm sure I'm speaking for every other brother too, but speaking personally, I can't wait to see my enemies suffer. At the same time, like a brother told me one time, like Yaquab, the brother Yaquab told me one time, and I agree with him. I don't want to be anywhere near these niggas while they're being judged at the same time. But I hope the Lord can open up a portal for me to see them suffering while, I'm hiding in the woods or whatever. I'm out in the woods, out in the mountains. And the Lord just opens a portal of the city and just shows me, certain people who came up against me just suffering. I don't want to be nowhere near them, but I hope the Lord at least shows me in a vision or opens up a portal so I can see it. Ultimately, I just hope I'm of the elect at the end of the day, but I would love to see my enemies suffer, man. All right? But, also lucky, that's the wrong thing. Going back to Jeremiah 15. So like I mentioned, for these prophecies to come to pass, there has to be famine. There has to be the sword, which the modern day sword is a gun. and all type of other weapons that Esau has that the public doesn't even know about. Sonic weapons, sound weapons, lasers, all right, heart attack guns. They have all type of robo dogs, drones, all these things that the Lord is preparing to destroy 2/3 of his people. And ultimately those nuclear missiles, which is going to destroy Babylon the Great. And all those who took the MOTB, they're going to be tormented in that fire and brimstone. And the elect is going to be watching it from the chariots, from the safety of the chariots. Oh, Lord willing, I'm a part of the elect. We're going to be watching, looking down on Babylon the Great burning, from outside of the earth. From an aerial view outside of the earth, outside of the atmosphere. The Lord's going to save us just in a nick of time. Verse 3, and I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord, the sword to slay, the dogs to tear, the fowls of heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. And like I showed you, that hyena, it so easily pounced on that guy and just started mauling him and dragging him. And there's way more powerful animals. As powerful as a hyena is, there's way more powerful animals. You got lions, you got tigers. These are some of the most mightiest animals on the planet Earth. All right? Not to mention Leviathan. That's an animal that no one has even seen. The Lord has hid Leviathan, it seems like, since the beginning. It's like people knew about Leviathan, but I don't even think anyone ever seen him. And I say people know about him because the Ammonites, the so-called Japanese, they made Godzilla. Godzilla really represents, Leviathan. So I'm sure they passed down stories of that type of creature. Somehow, they knew about Leviathan. Who knows? I mean, they probably just got that from the scriptures, the book of Job. But the Lord has animals that no one even knows about that he's going to unleash to judge these people. It says, and I will cause them to be removed into all the kingdoms. Matter of fact, that's it. But the Lord's getting ready to do this on the highest scale that the planet Earth has ever seen. But he's going to deliver his men. So I'm going to end off with this. All right. And again, I said that in my last video, but excuse my voice. I'm still through right now from being sick. All right. My voice, it doesn't sound, I don't sound like myself right now, but, Salakia for that. This is Job, no, that's the wrong chapter, Job 5. So he's going to use the animals and the beasts, the elements, the sword. He's the Most High, all right? He's the King of Terrors. He's the creator, so he has all type of creative methods he's going to use to torment and torture and destroy the wicked of his people, and the wicked with being Esau and the other nations. Hold up. What 20? It might be 20. Hold up. Job, what chapter is that? It gotta be Job 5, right? Oh yeah, it is. Job 5 and 20. In famine he shall redeem thee from death. This is talking about his elect. But he's not going to redeem anyone else outside of the elect from death, from famine. And in war, from the power of the sword. He's not going to allow his men to be drafted into World War III. But he's going to allow these niggas in the world to be drafted. He's going to, like bro say, Pookie and Ray Ray, he's going to allow them niggas to be drafted. All right? Quantavious, all these stupid names that Jake be having. He's going to allow them niggas to be drafted. All right? It says, in war, from the power of the sword, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction of famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the field. For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. So the Lord's going to protect us from the animals. He's going to protect us from war, from famine, And we're going to be good at the end of the day. We just have to have faith in him and know that he's going to save us. And remember that he's never despised anyone who called on his name, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and know that those names are a strong tower. And the righteous is going to run into those names to be delivered. So